Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to solve problem number 647, palindromic substring. So we understand what is palindrome and what is substring, right? So we are given a string, and then we have to find all possible combination of palindrome which is there present in a string as part of substring, right? So even though if it is just a single character, still it is considered as a palindrome, and that you can see given as part description. Even though it is just one character, still we need to count it. So definitely whatever the length of the substring is, that is going to be one possible number, and then after that we have to go and check other possible combinations which is there in string, right? For example, in this one, just A, B, C, one possible combination only. There is no other possible combination we can make out for a substring. So the answer is 3. In this case, if we just look at, so if I take individual character, that is going to be AAA, and then finally we have AA because first two and then last two, and then finally we have AAA, right? So that is one of the way counting it, and that's the total coming up is a 6. Now, how do I solve this problem? If I just think of a brute force approach, right? So one of the way we can think is, okay, I can just go ahead and apply multiple loops. So let's say if you have A, B, and A, so I can have like a 2 loops starting from here and then starting from here. Okay, I have to start from here as well because I need to count the individual characters. So my I and J both will start from here, and then I can keep incrementing till the last, and then for every possible combination I get, I'll go and check whether it is a palindrome or not. So for that IAJ, that is going to be n square loop, and then finally when we go and check whether it's a palindrome or not, that is going to be another loop which n. So the total is going to be n cube complexity. So that is a brute force approach we can think of and how we can solve it. But what if I can take out one and if we somehow we can solve with the n square complexity. So definitely one loop we need to check whether it's a palindrome or not, correct? So that we cannot avoid. And the second loop we need to do one pass of entire string, right? So that is so total is going to be here and complexity. That's how we can reduce it. So let me take out all these things. So okay, so now there are two cases actually. One of them is given in the example, but another is not given. So one, we know if it is just ABA, so something like this, right? So one way how to check palindrome, whether it's a palindrome or not, we can just start from start and end, and then we can keep going inward to check whether all the characters here are matching or not, right? And then make based on this, if A is matching, first is matching with the last, then I further decrement my variables to go further inside, and then as soon as my overlaps goes away, I say whether, then I decide whether it's palindrome or not. If let's say it is A, B, C, then clearly I know that A and C are not matching, so I'll not decrement my variables for the checks, right? So that is one way. But what if it's your variable is actually an even numbers, because here it is odd number. So as soon as I and J both reaches here, I can just finish the loop, terminate the loop. But here it is odd, right? Still you need to check. So while solving this problem, we have to check two cases, and there are various examples on LeetCode where you actually do this. So one is for all even string, and then for all odd string you try to check whether it's a palindrome, how many palindromes are present, and then based on that you try to figure it out what is the total number of count. So definitely I need some count variable where I'll be counting what is possible. But I think the major challenge here is, now we know that there are two possible, but major challenge here is how do I actually even do the traversal, right? So for this particular problem, what we have to do is, let's say if we have like example like something like ABA, so you start with first position and then you traverse both directions, because uh, for, for example, if let's say if I'm pointer is at P, right? If I'm pointing at P, so first I'll count this as a 1, because individual character itself is a palindrome, and then I'll go towards the left and then towards the right. If both are same, then that is another possible palindrome. Then that will another become possible palindrome. And then let's say this is C here, and again I go towards the right, and then if I count this one, C are same, then other possible palindrome. So this is, but if let's say D here, then if I go towards left and towards right, this is E and this is D. Then I see, okay, they are not same, then I'll terminate it. So from looking at B, I can see that there are 3 possible palindrome present from position at B. Similarly, I'll check for A, whether how many possible palindrome present. So first of all, A itself is a palindrome, but if I go left and right, the right there is nothing, so I'll break it. So only for A there is 1 possible palindrome. So we have to keep in mind how for a given position that I have in index, I check both and left and right. If they're matching, then that is one of the possible substring which is palindrome. If they're not, then they are not, right? Similar case we'll go with for odd as well. If it is odd, then in this case I'll have pointers here, and then I'll go towards left and towards the right and then towards left, and I keep checking whether these variables are matching or not. So that is the logic over here. I think the coding part is very simple. If you look at the code, probably you'll understand a bit more what I'm trying to explain here. So let's go to the code. So definitely what we are going to need is a helper function to check whether it's a palindrome or not. So this function is just going to check if it is a palindrome or not. Palindrome. And then I'm going to need a counter variable that is going to count palindromes per percent, and that is something I'm going to return at the end. Count, right? And this helper function, basically I have to check from the both the side what is, if the characters are matching, then I'll check. I'll do the further checking, and then I need a for loop where I'll do the traversal. So that is going to be from I in range of length of S. So that's my string. And then I mentioned that we have to check 2 cases. First is for odd number, and second is for even number. So let's check for odd first. I will call my helper. I pass both this together because I'm just checking for odd. If it is even, then I increment by 1. Right. So now let's complete the helper function. So we know that we have to check the boundary condition first. If left is less than equals, because I'm moving in the right direction, till the left is less than equals to 0 and the right is basically greater than length of S. And finally I'm going to check whether the string of left is equals to string of right. So basically you can look at the case, right? A, B, A. So I'm going to check whether A is actually equals to this A. Because for first position, let's say when I start with this position, B is definitely will be equals to B. So because left and right is going to be same. But when I go here, then I see left is equals to right or not. Then I'll further continue the loop. And if this condition satisfied, then I need to decrement my left and then go further checking on the right side. And then if it is equal, then definitely that is one possible palindrome, right? So I'm going to actually increment my count. right? uh, I'll define the count local variable here, just to keep track of it, and then finally I'm going to return it from the function. That's it for overall. Let's try to run and see if that works. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. Test result still running. Oops, something went wrong. I made a silly mistake here. I reversed the condition for left and right, so that's what the issue. So let's try to run it again. Because left has to be greater than 0 and right has to be less than s. But I took the reverse check, and then it never actually counted anything. Yes, so that works. So if I just submit this one, yeah, pretty much efficient. So that's the overall code here. I hope you like the video. Thank you for watching.